Hello everyone and welcome to Math for Business and Social Sciences, Math 1324. This is the 8-week version, so we got to hit the ground running on this one. So my name's Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you on this quick journey. For this video, I wanted to just show you where everything is, how my course is set up, and what the expectations are. So please pay attention to the video and then you'll be ready to get started. So the first thing is to look at this nav bar up here. Now, you could get to all the announcements by clicking here if you don't see what you remember seeing here. Assessments, you can find your attendance and your grades according to Brightspace. I would say check the MML gradebook. That's going to be your most accurate version. Your homework and tests, this is the button you'll click to do those. And here's the button for content, although all the content that I want you to have is right here. So I think that's kind of a little bit easier to look at. So let's go through the important things here and see how it's set up. So first of all, instructor plan. Let's look at that. We're not going to read the whole thing, but you should read it. But we're going to go through a couple of things. So here is some instructor information, and this is a couple of places in the course, but it does have my email, my office phone number, my office location. Office hours is another tab under content, so you will be able to see that. Required text and materials, you do not have to buy one because it's included with your tuition, so you'll have an ebook if you need to look at it. Do need a TI 83 or 84 calculator. If you have a different kind and you're familiar with it and it has what we're doing, that is fine with me, but I teach from this, and so that's what you're going to be seeing. I do have some apps I can share with you. If you don't own a graphing calculator, there are some phone apps that work really well. So we can skip down course attendance and participation. So this is saying that before the 60% point of the semester, if you've missed more than 25%, you can be dropped with a W. So be careful on that. And we'll talk about how that's done in this course in just a minute. But that's an important policy. We'll look at the calendar in another spot. All right, grading. Homework, tests, final exam. That's the categories for the course. The homework is 30% of your total average, but you can do your homework over and over again until you get the grade you want, which I'm assuming is 100. So the homework counts 30%, and you can just keep improving your score. Test, there are 5 tests and a comprehensive final. There are, the tests count 50% of your final average. And this is really important in red. Before each test is available and online, it just will not open for you unless you have done the homework with at least a 70 on each item. So keep that in mind. You can't just go do the test. You have to do the homework prior to that. Final exam is cumulative, and it's 20% of your final average. And then the actual MCC policy is here. And then here's my deal. In this online course, attendance is based on participation. You must work each week either on a homework or a test. Now, that doesn't even mean you have to finish a homework. It means you have to log in and work in homework. You have to, or a test, you have to do something. If you do not do that in a week, that will count as an absence. I will run a report on Sunday for the previous week. And if you haven't done any work Sunday through Saturday, then you're going to get an absence, and I'll send out an email. You're allowed 2 such weeks, because this is only an 8-week course. But if you receive a third one, you could be dropped for attendance issues. It's really easy to stay off that attendance problem. Just work on something every week. Okay, so that's the instructor plan. Read through it. look through all the information, but those are the high points that I wanted to grab. All right, you should go and look at this important student resources. There may be a lot of information that might be helpful for you. Schedule and office hours. Here's my door schedule for the fall. You would find it on outside my office. And this is the office location again. That's my extension. Absolute conference times, Tuesday, 7:30 to 8 in the morning and 1 to 5 in the afternoon on Tuesdays. Thursday, 7:30 to 8 a.m. And then if you needed something else on another time, we could probably Zoom by request. So keep that in mind. I'm on campus Tuesday, Thursdays, and those are the hours. I'm in class 8 o'clock, 9:35, and then a night class 6 to 8. So that's my hours. All right, next we have the calendar, and you saw it a little bit in the syllabus, but let's go here. Okay, this is a suggested calendar. Everything in the course is due at the end of the course. So you do not have to do all of this in week 1, but if you don't try to stay similar to this, you'll get really behind really quickly because it's a lot of stuff to do in 8 weeks. But you won't be penalized as far as a grade. This is suggested. Try to do these 4 things the first week of school. If you can stay up with that calendar, then week 2, you finish chapter 2 items and you take chapter 2 test. Then you start on 3-1 through 4. Now, this is a little bit harder material. You may not get to all of that. You may have to push some of that to week 3. But this is just a suggestion, so keep that in mind. All right. There is another place for my contact info. Here are some handouts that would be important for the course if we click there and click there. So college algebra is not a prereq for this course, but there is a lot of algebra that's involved. So this is a packet of information that I use in my college algebra classes. So you might want to print that, or at least know where it is if you need to access it. Lots of formulas, lots of how-tos, lots of tips. So that's that. Matrices, we're going to do that in the first chapter too. Graph grids, this is stuff for chapter 3 and 4 right there. All of this is chapter 3 and 4. Formulas for chapter 7, and there's Venn diagrams for chapter 7. Z-scores, that's chapter 8 and 9, but I think they're included in your homework, so you probably wouldn't need that. Formulas for chapter 10 and some notes on chapter 10. So there's lots of resources there under handouts that you may want to look at, print, and use. All right, now we get to the meat of the course. This is where everything is. Like, if you came to class, I wouldn't say open the book to page such and such. I would say, okay, we're going to cover problem set 2.1, and you would have that. So let's look at the problem sets, the lecture notes, and the lecture videos. That's for every section in the course. So if we go to problem sets, go to chapter 2, 2.1 problems. You can print this. You can see it's just some blank problems. There's 7 of them, okay? And you may or may not know anything about the echelon method. You will after we go through the notes and the video. But this is the practice to even do the homework. So let's go look at the lecture notes. All right, so now we'll go back here. We'll go to lecture notes. We'll go to chapter 2 and 2.1. And so this, if you were in class, this is what we would be going over and finding out how to solve these systems of equations. We would get to the problem set. And so here is some work for that problem and the final answer. Now, it may be that you look at this and you say, oh, I get the hang of that. I can do that. And you don't need anything else. If you get down here to the word problems, there's a little bit of stuff going on. And I think I have 2 versions of number 7. Yes. So there's a theater one and then there's this one. But this might not be quite enough. You might need the video. So let's go look at the videos. So here we are, video lecture playlist. We'll go here and you'll see that there's a playlist on my YouTube channel for this course. I have a YouTube channel for every course. So here we go, Chapter 2 videos. And you can see there's 6 videos. Now this, I have 2 for 2.1. I think there's some additional stuff here. So let's just look and see what this looks like when you play the video.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application.
Okay.
True statement. That's what happened here.
Okay. So
6x
this is
minus
examples that I'm going over, and
give me 18
probably
equals 3.
that's just
So
the
I've eliminated
notes.
the variable.
Let me go back. Let me go back. Let's go here. It must have gotten
If
split into
I
2 videos.
multiply this whole equation by 3 and this whole equation by -4, what will I end up having? I will have a 12x here and a negative 12.
So you can see that I am going through each question and talking about it. So you have those videos for every section, every chapter. After you've looked at the problem set, the lecture note, the video, you're ready to do the homework. So let's go back and look at that. All right, so we've done all of that in prep, and we go here to our homework tab, and then you can see all of your work is due. The due date's over here, and it's due October 15th at 6 p.m. That's when the course will close. So even though you've got a lot to do, it's all due then, but don't let it stack up. Okay, don't let it stack up. All right, so here's the 2.1 that we were looking at. If we click on that, there are 7 questions. They're going to mirror what you looked at. So let's go to question 1. All right, same kind of thing, and we should come up with a solution. Now, when I click in this box, if I decide, okay, it's A, and I want to put my answer here, it says type an ordered pair. I go here. Well, look down here. We get some little things that can help us. If we hit more, we get even more of those, right? So since it said ordered pair, I see this. I'm going to click that. Now all I have to do is put some numbers here. I'm going to put 1. I have no idea what the answer. I'm not even looking. I'm just going to put 1 and 1. And so I'm going to say check answer down here at the bottom. Okay, 1 or more of my responses is incorrect. It gives you a little information. I say, okay, all right, I'm going to change one of these to 2. And then I'm going to check my answer again. Still wrong. Okay, I'm going to give a final check. All right, the correct answer is what it'll give you here. It's 4, 4, and I answered 2, 1. If I want to go ahead and skip to the next question, I can. And then I can come back later. But if I figure out what I did wrong and I want to just do another question, remember I said you can keep doing it till you get it right. So similar question, now I've got another one. So you can keep doing those till you get it right. And if you leave it, you can hit save, you can come back to it at another point. Okay, now one other thing that I want to show you. Down here, you could hit view an example, but you really already have examples in my lecture notes and my video. So I doubt you need that, but you might. Get more help. So you could, that's the author's video. This would take you to the ebook, maybe some calculator help. But the one that's important here is ask my instructor. So if you've worked and you're so stuck and you can't do it, all you have to do is click this button, and it's going to create an email that comes to me with your exact specific question so I can see your numbers and what you're trying to do. You can type in here, I've tried blah, blah, blah. I can't understand this, whatever you want to say, and then send, and it will go right to me. I'll know it's from you, and I can get back to you in the best way. So you will just do that and hit send, and that's really the best way to get help by email if that's what you're needing. All right, so let's go back and look at one other thing. Yes, I want to leave. And I want to leave that. Okay, so if I've done all of the homework for 2 and I'm ready to take the test, here it is. But I haven't done all that. I need to make a 70, and it's going to remind you, and it's not going to let you. But that is where your test is. It tells you you have 2 hours on the test, and you have 2 tries. The higher of the grade will count in the second try. In the tries. So if you make a 80, but you want 100, and you take it again, but you make a 70 the next time, the 80 will be the one that counts in your grade. All right? Now, after you take your test, you don't come back here to look at it. You'll go to the grade book to review it. Okay? And after you study it, you figure out what you did wrong, and when you want to take it again, you just take it again. And both of them may show in your grade book, but only the higher grade is counting. Okay? For chapter 3 and 4, you have 2.5 hours. It's a little bit harder test. Then you go back to 2 hours for 7, 2 hours for 8 and 9, 2 for 10, and then there is no test on 11, but you have to do those homeworks. And then the final exam is 2.5 hours, and you have 1 chance on it. Okay? If you finish the course before the 8 weeks, you just need to email me and say, hey, I just finished. I'm letting you know, and then you don't have to worry about the attendance issue. So it is totally in your control. It's very flexible for you, but it's also a lot of responsibility. You cannot put it off. So keep that in mind. Let's go back and look at the rest of the course. Okay, the last thing is the e-text, and if you want to look at the book, you can go there. The grade book, now let's look in here. So in the grade book, it should show where I opened up that 2.1 and started it, but I didn't do anything. But what I see on my end, I will see what your score was, how much time you spent on it, when you started it, when you worked it, and then this you can review right here. So this is what it'll be like for your test. Your test will show up here, and you click this review, and in your test it will show you what you answered and what the correct answer is. All right? Let me move this. So this over here tells you have 32 homeworks, 1 quiz, that's your final. The quiz is your final, and 5 tests. So in total, we have 38 assignments to do in the 8 weeks. So again, you just need to get busy, and you'll be fine. Okay? All right, so let me go back here. So I think that gets you what you need, but I am available. That's what I'm here for. I've created this in a way that you can be flexible but be responsible, and I'm here to help you on the things that you are struggling with. But you have a video for everything, you have lecture notes for everything, so I think you're ready to go, and I look forward to working with you.